But talking about the world of financials, let's also talk to Muthoot Finance. Their numbers came out and we've got on board with us the MD, George Alexander Muthoot, joins us in the show right now. Mr. Muthoot, morning. Thanks so much for joining in. You know, just going by a quarterly performance, despite single-digit growth in the gold loan portfolio, your profit growth was a fabulous 40%. Was this entirely on the back of financial leverage or some one-offs also partially aided this performance?
It is nothing. Thank you. It is nothing one-off. It is just the culmination of all the efforts or processes we have been taken in the last 4 or 5 quarters to see that the interest is collected on time. Interest is collected fully from all the gold loan customers. I think that has been one of the main reasons for the increase in the interest collected as well as the increase in the profit. Of course, the lower cost of funds have also helped in this full year. So that is why we were able to see a 47% growth in the net profit after tax compared to last year.
And so what is the projection? Because, you know, the market doesn't seem to be finding fancy in these numbers. 6.5% down is how the stock is performing right now, sir. How do you see the road ahead when it comes to recoveries, especially in the MSME space?
See, our gold loans are fully collateralized. The average ticket is only 40,000 rupees. So as far as we are concerned, there is no concern on the recoveries or whether we will be able to recover our money, etc. All these are fully secured, and we are in the money. And today, even the NPA numbers which we see, on those also we are definitely in the money. That means even if we auction this gold at this point, we are not going to lose any money. It is just that Muthoot gives more time to the borrowers to release their gold rather than forcing them to auction this gold. That is why you see NPAs in Muthoot. We don't have any loan losses due to NPA. In all our history, we have never had NPA loan loss. It's the loan loss which we have, about 30 crores, is mainly because of frauds or burglaries, etc. Nothing related to NPA. NPA never results in a loan loss for Muthoot.
Okay. Analysts are also saying that low single-digit growth in gold loan can be penciled in. Tell us what is what are the projections that you're working with, and also overdue portfolio or GNPA for you in the quarter gone by has increased from 5.62% in December to 6.98% in the month of March. We understand that this is largely because of migration to 90 DPD and borrower-wise classification as well. Therefore, does not signify stress in the portfolio. So if we adjust for this, what improvement could we see, and how is it that you foresee your GNPAs and net NPAs to read by FY19 end?
See, our GNPA, which was more than 5 or around 6% last quarter, primary NPAs, which has come down to 4%. So on that respect, the GNPA has come down, the primary NPAs. The secondary NPAs, which is because of the borrower-wise classification, is having about 2%, 2.8%. So going forward also, we feel that this will come down only. As we are speaking, the NPAs which we saw in the last quarter has been fully collected. The NPAs which you see in this quarter or the end of this quarter is only the new NPAs which have come. So as we are speaking, even the NPAs which we see here, 30% of them have already been closed. So it is just that we are giving more time to the customers to repay. We don't lose any money, as I said earlier also. So our focus would be to see that customers are kept happy and we don't lose money. And that has been, we have been able to demonstrate that in all our quarters with respect to these NPAs. As regards the projections for growth, next year we would plan for a gold loan growth of 15% in the book, but the subsidiaries are doing extremely well. Their base is very low, but so they have grown 50-60% last year. Next year also they will go in excess of 60% with a lower base, and we expect our total AUM to comprise of, today it is 90% gold loan and 10% other loans. End of this year, it should be 85-15, and end of 2020 March, it should be, we expect it to be 80% of gold loan and 20% of other financial products.
Give us how you're going to be looking at, your return ratios being sustained at these levels. Your return on asset, return on equity, which drives high cash generation that is being deployed in the housing finance and microfinance subsidiaries, which are very profitable. How can you sustain these return ratios?
See, I think return ratios on equity not high because we are little overcapitalized. So as we go forward, as we have more AUMs in the gold loan business, and as we grow our subsidiaries, the equity will definitely be used much better, and the return on equity should go up in the coming quarters. So that's what we would see as far as the return on equity is concerned. As far as return on assets is concerned, we would be happy with anything in the range of 4% to 5%. Today this quarter we have about 6%, but we should definitely be happy with 4 and 5, between 4 and 5 return on assets.
Okay, your overall LTV of the current portfolio stands at 86%. So how low is the probability of credit losses given, gold prices being range bound, so to speak?
Our credit losses, the credit losses which you see, there is nothing with regard to the NPA loss. All these credit losses are just because of any frauds or maybe spurious gold coming in, or maybe burglaries which happened in the last year. Those are the credit losses which you see. There is absolutely zero credit loss because of NPA. So something unfortunate happened last year, which was a burglary, and that has been one of the reasons for the credit loss which has happened. Probably we will get from the insurance companies later on, but as of date we have given back the money to the compensated the customers, and that is why the credit loss is seen. As and when money is received from the insurance company, we will set it off.
Okay, Mr. Muthoot, let's talk about the subsidiaries then, because there's been strong traction which continues across home finance, microfinance, insurance broking as well. They account for 10% of your overall AUM and about 5% of your total profits. Based on your scale-up plan, what contribution to your revenue and profitability do you see from each of these verticals in the next 2 to 3 years?
So, as I said, our subsidiaries today contribute more than 10% of our AUM. Next year, we expect it to contribute little more than 15, and the year after that, 20% of our profits of our AUM should be contributed by these companies. I'm sure going forward, their profitability also will be not as high as the gold loan sector, but definitely it is a little more. It will get better and better in the days to come. The housing finance is also doing well. They have projected a growth or an AUM of 2,500 next year, and same with the microfinance from around 1,200 to they expect it to reach 2,000 crores by the end of next year. Having said that, we are also planning to enter into the vehicle finance sector and also the personal loan sector, maybe in a very phased manner.
So we leave it at that. Thanks very much for taking out the time to speak with us this morning. Muthoot Finance is reeling under pressure. Optically, the numbers look okay, but I think there's some profit taking coming in at higher levels. I think primarily on account of the GNPA numbers. That's Muthoot Finance and Trade. Let me